Hi, so today I want to talk about why we might live in the multiverse, and this seems to be a topic that I'm visiting periodically, like every few months. I just need to talk about it because I think this doesn't have nearly enough attention drawn to it. Like, if we really reflect and think about how insane it is, how many things had to happen exactly the correct way for us to be here right now. We take it so much for granted that we are in this bubble, this safe cocoon on planet Earth. If the planet Earth was an apple, then the atmosphere would be just the peel of the apple. We take it so for granted. It's insane. And for me, I love astrophysics and studying about it, and definitely something that gives you a perspective on how odd it is that we live here. Let's think about it for a moment. So we used to think that the Earth was flat. Great, this works. Okay. Then we used to think that the Earth is the center of the entire universe. Now we can say that's the sun, and then we learned that actually planet Earth orbits around the sun, and so that is our existence. And then we thought for a while that it's a solar system floating in some weird gaseous space. Then we started looking around and found, of course, plenty of other stars. That other stars are in fact other stars, suns, exactly just like our sun. Sun, stars, stars, sun, it's the same thing. And it's mind-blowing to think that wherever you go, all those dots in the night sky, each one of them is a star like our own sun. So that's insane. So for a while we had this worldview that it's just our solar system, a special place, and then a bunch of crazy stuff out there which we're not really sure why or what exactly. And then we started seeing like collection of like clouds of gas with some faint stars in it. Did look really weird, but we started to look further and see some clouds of gas, and we weren't exactly sure what those would be. Then a little bit time went on that we learned that these are in fact galaxies. That these weird clouds that we saw were in fact actually galaxies, and that so in our own galaxy we estimated about few hundred billion stars. This galaxy that we live in, Milky Way galaxy, and these other clouds that we saw, we figured out those were also galaxies with hundreds of billions of stars in them. Already incomprehensible, mind-blowing numbers. That each one of those galaxies is actually a real place, which estimated in our entire observable universe around few hundred billion galaxies, each containing few hundred billion stars. I will try to write this down somewhere. That's 1,000, that's a million, and that's a billion. Galaxy. I'm too lazy to just write that. So this multiplies by the average hundred of stars which we also estimate. Billion stars. God damn, I'm so lazy. You get the point. So in our observable universe, I'm not gonna do the calculation, but it's not difficult to find. Few hundred. Oh, I even left out. There should be like 2 zeros here and 2 zeros here. Not just like 2 billion, but 200 billion. And again, these are the kind of numbers that human mind simply cannot comprehend. Why I'm talking about all of this, what the point of this is that our world has been expanding. The way we think about our place in the universe has only gotten larger. Let me get something else here. So we thought that there's only the Earth, then we thought there's only the sun, then we thought there's also only our galaxy, and then we thought that there's only our universe filled with all these galaxies. And I left out some steps, so this is really generalizing, but the trend is that we just expand our mind and we expand what we think is possible. And so what I'm really thinking about is every time our world has gotten bigger, what good reason is there to stop there? I see absolutely no good reason. And this is why I'm making this video, because I want to tell you the reason why. I think that there's no reason to stop there. So good, this was a chaotic rant of an introduction, but let's make a list of just some of the things that come to mind of what makes life truly special and unlikely in our universe. And I'm just, spitballing here of what is so special about our universe. So it could have been so many different ways. So I believe my views have evolved as far. So now I believe that it's quite possible that we live in the multiverse, which has, probably an infinite amount of different universes, and each one of them with different configurations of laws of physics. So one of my questions would be, why isn't our universe just a random scattering of particles? It could have been an entire universe filled with photons or electrons, just chaotic, doing their thing. And I'm quite certain that the vast majority of the universes in the multiverse are in fact those types of universes where the laws of physics are so messed up that no solid matter can even form. So first special thing, I would say atoms, that atoms are possible to even form. Chemistry, I think this is really underrated and people don't think about it enough, is that it's even possible for chemistry to happen. That's mind-blowing that we have like 80 to 100 elements, you could say, and all of these different elements, chemical elements, are stable and they interact with one another to produce chemistry. If that was not possible, then we would not be here. Okay, so just thinking about a few of these things. So we could make such a long list. So gravity, I think that's right. So not too strong / weak. Now this is perfect craftsmanship. So gravity, not too strong, not too weak. That the universe we live in, gravity is tuned to exactly such an amount that if it was too strong, then stars would clump together really strongly and the nuclear reactions would happen much faster, and no stable stars would be able to form. All of the gases in the universe would just collapse and explode in supernovas, and no stable life of stars would be able, as we see them now. If gravity was too weak, then stars wouldn't hold together. It wouldn't be possible for stars to form. So I might as well write the existence of stars themselves, that they even just existing. Again, that the universe, depending on how you look at it, we do live in, if you think about vast, deep future and deep time, we live in the very infancy of our universe. The stars that live the longest time, red dwarf stars, they can live for over 1 trillion years. Our universe is only 13.8 billion years old, quite far away from 1 trillion. So those stars are at their infancy. Our universe basically just was born into existence. I'm just trying to keep myself in the moment here, to not drift away too far. But we live in a really interesting time where entropy is such that stable life is able to exist, and stars are able to form. So basically what I'm saying is that there are, not too much chaos. And what do I mean by not too much chaos? Is that there could be a supernova explosion 10 light years away from us that's just happening now, and it could wipe off all life on the planet. But no, we've been here on planet Earth for like 4 billion years, and catastrophic events have happened, but none such to wipe out all life. So it's surprisingly stable. So many different things that could happen that could kill us that don't. Of course, I could say, I could write down pretty much all the laws of physics here and say that if those laws of physics were any different, then, different reasons why we couldn't exist. And that's all true. There's a long list of things that if they were any bit different, then life here would be impossible. Energy, dark energy. The dark energy is not so strong that, from the birth of the universe, everything exponentially more and more gets just ripped apart. So there's no chance ever to even form stars or planets. Stable stars and planets, that's a really special thing, I think. It could have been so easy, something a little bit different, and dark energy would just rip apart the entire universe. Easy. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, antimatter. So, if you heard anything about this, then at the birth of the universe, there was more regular matter than antimatter. Usually, matter and antimatter perfectly cancel each other out. But for some reason, at the birth of our universe, there was more this one type of matter that our world is made up of than this antimatter. That's the opposite of that and annihilates on contact. There is no good reason that we could say why there should be more of this regular matter than antimatter. And if we put it into actual amounts, it was a minuscule amount more this normal matter of normal atoms, than antimatter. Just minuscule, 0.0000000%. What we're talking about here basically is all these different laws of physics, all these constants of nature. What are we talking about? We're talking about things like this. If anything was 0.000.1% different, then life in our universe could not exist. We're talking about things like this. And once, at least for me, when we lay it out like this, for me it becomes clear that either we live in a simulation, which is no answer, either God created our universe, which is no answer either, some kind of answer, or we just live in one of those universes from the multiverse that had the precise laws of physics, that we could be here and observe our world. There's no other way how it could be. It's like having millions of sperm fertilizing an egg, and out of those millions of eggs, millions of sperm, this one sperm that makes up you, and you survive and you grow up and you're like, I survived, and then you wonder, what happened. This is such a stupid analogy and metaphor, but you get what I'm saying. Out of those millions, the conditions were just right for the one sperm to do what it had to do. So for me, it's quite clear. It is controversial because in the natural sciences, if we actually want to do things properly, then if I was a scientist writing papers, I would be really frowned upon. You can't just throw around statements. We live in a multiverse. You can't just say that, because you need solid proof and objective evidence, which I absolutely agree with. But at the moment, we can't go any further, and that just seems like the most logical conclusion. Like we said before, I already marked it down, but the evolution of our world getting bigger, why should we stop at our universe? I see no good reason that our universe bubble is everything there is, all of existence ever, anywhere ever. And I just keep repeating that basically to myself to drive myself insane. Anywhere, ever, really? Our universe, everything, ever? So that blows my mind when I can for a moment sort of comprehend with my, human mind brain that, the totality of existence, what it's called. If you just keep zooming out, where do we finally get to? Zooming out from our own current universe into this space of multiverses in, undescribable dimensions of how they interact and what laws of physics are in this sea of multiverses, and you could have this mother of all Big Bangs that gave existence to the multiverse itself. Maybe there's a multiverse of multiverses. And fuck. I wish, and my hope is in the future, that we advance far enough and that we don't kill ourselves, that we have the possibility to augment our minds with artificial intelligence, make ourselves more intelligent, because I want to understand this and comprehend it. And I want us to figure it out as a species, because we have to. So this is just my weird rant and video. I got a whiteboard, so I didn't really do anything interesting with it here, but in the future, when I get the hang of it, I hope that we can make some more interesting fun videos. So this is a great help. I just found it basically randomly, which was enormous luck because I was looking for whiteboards. So thank you for anyone thinking along with me. Hope there was anything interesting in this video for you. If you have any thoughts, please share them in the comments. And of course, thank you so much for watching and take care.